They announced it on New Year's Day. Guess we have all year to prepare for the cold foil Black Lotus. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to send you a cease and desist. It'll be great.
All right, good.
Welcome to a very late night dance party, rave party episode.
It is 10:10 p.m.
That's like way past my bedtime. Of Metazoo be with you. We are way past my bedtime. It is 10 p.m. 10:10, and we just started this sucker.
Yeah.
I am joined tonight by the solo man himself, the one. No, Mitch, you shut up. The one, the only, the king forever, Louis DeGeorge.
Hey, buddy. How are you? We didn't talk today. Is that why we're doing the podcast now? We didn't talk today?
Yeah, I missed you. We didn't talk today.
You called me while I was giving my... Yeah.
This is the first time in months we have not talked.
You called me while I was giving my daughter a bath, and I was like, I'm just going to not answer today. So, sorry about that.
I'll remember that.
And I'm joined by George, the owner of the #1 TCG store on the East Coast in South Carolina, North Carolina, and one of the Carolinas, and in your region. On that naval base, you are the #1 TCG store. Not a naval base. Army base? What kind of base is it?
Wow. Naval base. You're going to get bombed. You are going to get bombed. I have your address. I will give it to them. I will military dox you. I will missily dox you. It'll be great.
All right, let me tell everybody what we're talking about today, because we're gonna call this a hodgepodge episode.
Why?
We don't have Mitch here today. We're gonna talk about George and his selling of his flesh and blood collection.
Stop. George is selling part of his flesh and blood collection. I'm not like you. I didn't sell everything. Continue.
Yes. And we're going to talk about, obviously Mitch isn't here. Mitch has not left the podcast, but he couldn't make it tonight.
Mitch has a real job, and he can't film at 10 p.m. because he has a real job. Unlike Louis and I, which are like one step above homeless, I would argue. Like I'm a full step above homeless. You're like a half step above homeless, I would argue.
In Mitch's defense, we don't talk about when we're shooting the podcast until like Wednesday night at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
When we're like, hey, we have to record tomorrow. Yeah. And then it's kind of not great. Anyway, then we're going to talk about Everfest a little bit. We're going to talk about the Magic the Gathering unset. We're going to talk, George has some surprise for me. I don't know what we're talking about. And then we're going to do the Metazoo Minute. So it's going to be a hot rod. This is a TCG podcast now, everyone. Let's get into it, buddy.
Thank you for the wonderful preview that we've never done before and was a complete waste of time. That was
you're welcome.
Really well thought out, Louis. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So as some of you know, I'm selling part of my collection. I want to first start off in alphabetical order by the names of people that I need to justify why I'm selling my collection to. My wife. That is it.
How many PMs and messages have you gotten?
So fracking many. And like, I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to talk about some of the reasons I'm selling some of my collection and the things you'll bury me with.
Yeah.
Okay. I owe none of you, with all due respect to all of you, I owe none of you a reason. I did not ask you guys if I should buy my collection. I do not owe you guys I don't owe an obligation to ask you if I should sell my collection. I am selling part of my collection, and here is why. It doesn't feel the same to own it as it once did. And here is what I mean by that. When I first started carrying flesh and blood, and I mean this, it felt like LSS and I were taking on the world together. And I think if you talk to a lot of us early stores, we all felt that way. They picked two crazy ideas to us. The first is that a deck will be affordable at any competition level. At any level of competition, a deck will be affordable. And they're going to fundamentally change the way TCGs and LGSs interact. This is right when Magic Online, not Magic, whatever, the Magic Arena came out, and they were like, we're going to have the back of the LGS.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to dive into why and how I think perhaps some of this has changed. I think we've done that enough, and I'm tired, frankly.
Yeah, I'm sick of talking about it too.
I'm cranky. I'm cranky about talking about it, so I'm not going to talk about it. Like, my opinions on this are clear. They've been stated publicly. But, like, I didn't buy my collection for the money. I didn't, I hoped it went up, but that's not the reason that I bought it. I bought it because I was like, heck yeah, we're going to take on Magic together.
Yeah.
We're going to tackle this behemoth, this evil company that's trying to kill every LGS in America. We're going to tackle them together. And I don't know if that's their vision anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the vibe they're putting down for me. I think it's like, listen, like, we need to become the next Magic. We need to become the next big TCG. And that means we'll partner with LGSs as much as we can or when we can. But like, at the end of the day, you know how you grow fast? You grow fast by going to Star City Games, Team Covenant, and Channel Fireball, and Rudy. That's how you grow fast. And that's great. And I'm happy for them, and I'm fine with them, and that's fine. And part of me is just this week was me saying, I need to personally, not as a store, which is my favorite part. People are that stupid. They don't understand that I am not a store. I am a person who owns a store, morons.
George is the person too.
Yeah. Yeah. My eyes are up here. And, I need to take a step back and kind of say, whatever LSS does is LSS's business. I just got to focus on my store. I can't focus on LSS anymore. I have to focus on Compete Sport. I have to focus on making sure that we're the best store we can be. And whatever LSS does, LSS is going to do.
Sure.
And I'm not going to worry about it as much anymore. I have a obviously great relationship with Mike the Goat. I have a great relationship with Assad the Lion. Did I joke? Did I joke?
It's just funny. It's a funny.
I have a great relationship with I have a great relationship with some people from LSS, frankly. I talked to one on Friday. We had a great talk. He's a great guy. But I'm going to focus on the relationships that bring me happiness and joy. I'm going to focus my collection on things that bring me happiness and joy.
Cool.
And owning 6 9.5 hearts, cold foil hearts, is completely unnecessary to show your love of flesh and blood. I suspect none of you viewers have that many, frankly. Even after I will sell, probably none of you will have as many as I will still have. So let me also say this. I have 7, actually. Here are the things that you will bury me with. I bought back some of the promos from the first skirmish from those that won from out of state. And those are proudly displayed in my home and in my store. Cool. I bought Rob's prize from the Road to National. He won at my store, which was heartbreaking. And no offense to Rob, I just wanted a local guy to win it. And I cherish that card. That's my first Road to Nationals as a store.
Yeah.
I had great time with Phil and Dung Tai and a whole bunch of people at Nationals. I have those cards. I have those huge, enormous cards that Dung helped me get. And Tyler helped me carry. And those won't go, Louis, if they became worth $5 million each, I would not consider selling them. This has nothing to do with money at all. Because I look at those big, enormous, ridiculous cards, and I'm like, man, that was a freaking awesome experience. That was awesome. I had fun. And that's what my collection is about. It's about fun. Owning cold foil hearts is cool. Maybe they go up in value. Maybe they go down in value. I don't know. I'm done guessing the fab market. Mondo 1K. But, I want all those huge cards. I want those things that bring me a lot of happiness in my collection forever, and they will be in my collection forever.
Yeah. You don't owe anybody anything.
No.
I'm going to ask some questions. Feel free to not answer them, obviously. But like, how has that experience been listing? I think a lot of us have collections. A lot of us think about, oh, should I start selling? Should I do this? Should I do that? Not that not that we are going to sell, but you know, as a collection owner, you're like, oh my gosh, I wonder how it would be. How does that work whenever you post a collection like that?
It sucks.
How many? Like what's the rate of people messaging you and interacting with that?
I probably get more than the average. You know, I will say, like, I'll be perfectly candid. Some people that say they are publicly buying are not buying in reality.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. I've gotten some decent offers, frankly. I'll be candid. I've gotten I think pretty good offers on the heart, gruesome, ugly offers on the eyes.
Yeah, it doesn't help that you have a lot of competition with the eye right now.
Yeah, come on, man. Figure out the market. Let's get that garbage out of here. We gotta sell mine. And like, you know, good pricing on the tunic, I would say. Really good pricing on the cold foil commons, which I thought of you every time.
Yeah, man. I told you. I remember our first phone call. You remember our first phone call?
I had hair.
What happened on our first phone call?
Well, first I thought you were a woman. I thought you were Lewis. I thought you were Lois. I was like, I remember you picking up me being like, "Oh, is Lois available?" You're like, awesome. "I am Louie." I'm like, "Oh, I can read."
It's awesome.
We were talking. Cold foil comments were underpriced, and I was like, "No, the heart." And
they were like $15-$20 at the time.
$20.
Yes, they were. I was buying them. And you were like, "No, the only thing that people care about is expensive cards." And I said, "No, people who can't afford those are going to go for the cold foil commons."
Here is still my problem with the cold foil commons. I hate selling 30 cards. I want to sell one card and be done.
Yeah, but what are you doing right now?
What do you mean?
How many cards are you selling right now?
I think 30, 35.
Oh, okay. So,
and I could say I'm keeping a full collection.
Yeah, that's what I wanted people to hear.
I'm keeping 2 hearts and a 9.5 of every other card. I'm keeping 2 9.5 hearts, including the 3rd best heart in the world.
Yeah.
I will say this again for you bozos that are hard of hearing. Shout out to Dorinthia. I am not selling for money. I don't need, like, this is not a thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. Like, this is not about money. This is about, like, man, like, I walk past that box every day. And like, Frank, I'll be honest, it reminds me of like what I thought we were going to accomplish together.
So somebody reached out to me and they were like, "I told you George is only in it for the money because he's selling." And I said, "Listen, if George was only in it for the money, George would have sold at the top, because you got in way, like, you weren't in when hearts were $45,000. That's not when you were buying. You got in way early, way earlier than that. Like,
I don't think I paid more than $10,000 for any one of my hearts. I think I paid less than $7 for most.
If you were in this for the money, you would have sold at a 20x profit.
I also wouldn't be selling the lowest part of the market as a bulk deal,
right?
Like,
and I think what I said to what I said to this individual was, "Man, listen, this is a conversation of George doesn't feel like his voice matters in the grand scheme of things. Matter. And like that's kind of what I like. You care about having a voice that is that you are on a team with the company that you are. That's what you love about the other games that you support, is that you feel like you're on the team. You don't feel that way. That's understandable.
Like, this has been a peaceful week for me, frankly, because I'm like, you know what, like, I don't think they're going to listen, and like that means I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, that means you don't have to say it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, okay, I disagree with what they've done. They don't care.
Yeah,
and I don't care that they don't care anymore, and that's fine. Like, it's their company. I've made my position on these things very clear. I think I frankly have been borne out a lot of the time on this. Like, I remember very clearly waving the panic flag when Channel Fireball first started dumping.
Yeah.
And being like, hey, this is really bad and this could get a lot worse. And like, it has. I'm also been their cheerleader when they've deserved it, right? Like, I mean, like I've been very clear that it's the best game on the market by a mile.
Yeah.
There's no better game. There's no better game.
It's nice because it's all documented too.
Yeah,
go back and watch our podcast because
they literally only hear one part, and then it's like, oh, got him.
Trust me, I know, buddy. Oh,
yeah. You sold your whole collection. I don't know why you worry about this anymore. And like
everyone, I did not sell my collection. That was sarcasm and a joke for those who are watching right now and didn't watch the video.
Do another video showcasing everything you've ever not sold, and maybe I'll believe you.
So everything.
Yeah, that way you can feed the trolls a little bit more, Louis. That's what you really need.
I can count on. I can probably tell you all the cold filks I've ever sold in my life.
I don't care. So like I think like this is when I look at my relationships with the different games. Like I look at my relationship with Mike, which I think is probably, frankly, the strongest with a game designer. Like me and Mike, I think have become friends.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I like Mike. And then I look at like my relationship with Assad, and I'm like, you know, like me and Assad not only get along, but like I think there's a mutual respect there. And like keep in mind, like me and Assad could not be more different.
Yeah. No,
like me and Assad, if we ever get in the same room, you will see an explosion because opposite and positive, negative and positive cannot collide. I mean, like it is like, but like that doesn't matter that we disagree a lot because there's mutual respect and admiration for what the other has brought to the table.
Yeah.
Yep. And like, I'll be honest, like I sold some of my cards. I bought some Genesis cards.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you know what? Like, I like Assad.
Yeah.
I like owning those. I like owning cards that Assad has designed.
Right.
Because I'm like, me and him are rowing the same direction. We might disagree a lot on how important investors are to his game.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that we stand lockstep in that that decks should be affordable for players.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of a $1,500 deck in a 2-year-old game seems outrageous to both me and him.
Yeah.
And like I talked to Mike, and it's just like he has this grand vision for how Metazoo can take over the universe.
Yeah. And
his path runs through the LGS, directly through the local game store.
There's seats at the table.
Yeah. And like I like owning that. Like, you know, let's be honest here, if I was in for the money, I'd be dumping Kickstarter boxes. Like those are a lot easier to sell, and they're worth a ton.
Yeah,
I'm not selling one of them.
Your cost basis on Kickstarter is dirt low too.
Like I'm not selling them.
Yeah,
I have no interest. Like the thought of selling that box has never crossed my mind.
Yeah,
because it's not about the money.
Yep.
You know, again, like the huge cards from Flesh and Blood that I got at Nationals, I would never sell those.
Yeah.
I don't even know how much they're worth. And if somebody told me, I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
Like it's about
4 million. They haven't hit your 5 million target yet, but they're 4 million seems about right.
I'll be honest. Like I don't think I'd sell it. I don't think I'd sell it $1 million.
It's been interesting watching the market over the last couple of weeks and seeing, I picked up a Visiortronic Model I for cold foil for $200 tonight.
No,
like I was like, wait, what? Like that's
I mean
that's
the
like
market.
So I think what happened, and I want to get into this a little bit. I think what happened is we all priced 20 years of success into the game in the 6 months that the market was booming, 4 months that the market was booming, and like that's just maybe not a super healthy approach as a community. And so I don't know, like I hear all the time there's a bunch of people creating excuses for the market downturn today in this.
I heard it's crypto. Which is only funny because I heard before the market was down because crypto was at an all-time high.
Yeah, like crypto's there.
You know, I heard crypto. I heard seasons. I heard seasons were something else. Like I remember, like summer doldrums. Like of course the market's down. Everybody's going out and spending money during summertime. Now we got Christmas time. I mean, like I
think that there's just a divide of like this is a player's market, and I think that's really good. And there's Well, then listen. I'm not saying that's why the. I'm saying like that is what the game turned into is a player's market. Anyway, what? I don't want to have the. We don't need to. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
What do you mean it's not a player's market? All the playable cards are selling super fast.
Okay. Now
the cold foils are not. Look at the unlimited Monarch. Carrion Husk is dropping down, or Carrion Husk Unlimited is reaching the price of a cold foil Carrion Husk. They're within 20%, 25%.
You said this in your comment section last week, and it was. I'll be honest, I was pretty impressed with your comment section last week. I thought they were pretty good. One exception, but like my big. I forget who said the comment, and I apologize to whoever you are, because this was one of the best comments I ever read, other than George's Goat, which is obviously the best comment every week.
Bert.
Somebody said we need to stop viewing First and Unlimited as two separate products and view them as one release. And I thought that was really smart, because I'll be first in line to admit I have failed that.
Yeah.
And like that really, I thought about that comment a lot, because I think that's a really smart comment that the market seems to be slowly getting to.
Yeah.
Like, listen, I think what Fab has run into is like when you print a bajillion boxes and there's 20 bajillion cold foil husks, the difference in 20 bajillion cold foil husks and 30 bajillion rainbow foil husks isn't a big price difference.
Right.
Like, and this was something we probably, frankly, should have seen coming.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I guess I will get into this. I will get into this for one quick second. I want to talk about Monarch to 1K. I will tell you that I got roughly as much Monarch as I did Crucible, more than I got of Arc, and probably slightly less than I got of Wraith. So, like, for me, when I got my allocations,
less than you got for Wraith?
No. I'm sorry. I got more Monarch than I did Wraith
by a slight amount. Okay.
Yeah. But like, there was no competition for Wraith. It was me and Bill. All right. Like, there was 2 stores in America selling it in any quantity. Shout out to the GOAT.
The GOAT.
And I guess Jason was there too, in fairness. Yeah, Jason was definitely there too. Me, Bill, and Jason were the big 3. In many ways, I guess still are, and Spencer's now added. So like when I got my Monarch, I was like, oh my God, the market's not ready for this. Because I figured the print one would be roughly the same as Crew.
As did everyone.
Because I was like, I got roughly the same amount. Like, then I saw the price get to 500, and I was just like, yeah, this makes complete sense to me.
Yeah.
The market
especially Crucible was 1,400. There was a time when Crucible was 1,400.
like this made complete sense to me.
Yeah.
What I think we've now found out is like, a lot of people did a lot of bad things.
Yeah, and that's like, I don't know.
Like distribution sending Monarch to stores 6 months later is not good. Not good. And I'll be honest, like, this is why I love the fact that the GOAT Mike releases print runs.
I was going to bring that
before
up.
the set.
That there's a pro and a con to that. The con is that you have to watch the stores because they know what they have, right? Like they know exactly what they have, but like that's what they're doing. They're watching the stores. Yeah, they're doing the work that's required to release their print run numbers early, or beforehand. And I do like that. Like I think,
think about how different this market would be if Monarch opened up at 125.
Oh, it would be completely different.
It's like comical.
There would be so many more people can still. And I really think that one of the biggest issues in the market right now is people who left because of their losses on Monarch.
Well, they're
done buying and they're out of money because everyone was buying Monarch with the idea of, hey, everyone was leverage. I know people who took out $40,000 loans to buy Monarch. Like,
big yikes.
like, and they had the other cold foils and stuff that I guess I don't know what they did anyway, but like there was a idea that like, no, fab only goes up, and like they got burned as a result of like the print run seemingly, and we still don't know this, but the print run seemingly is way bigger.
And, I mean, like I literally,
yeah, I can't see a world where it's not.
I mean, like, I can't imagine that world. So, I mean, like, I don't know. Like,
I don't think we get that data. I've been saying this. No, not even release 6 months after release. Think about it. They gave us
Monarch's already been out for 6 months.
No, 6 months. We got WTR and ARC. If you think of it as a block, WTR, ARC, and Crew, we got the print run numbers like 6 months after the Crew release. So if you look at this like a block of Monarch, Tales, Everfest, it would be 6 months after Everfest.
And clearly they view it as a block, right? Like that is clearly what I take away from their out of print announcements, is that they view this as a block.
Yeah. Yeah. We're there. And so we're not going to know that. Like I was talking to somebody about it today. I was like, the only thing that can save Monarch is the print run numbers, which aren't coming. I don't know what answer I like there though. Like even
no, I don't want to get into that because that's depressing. I mean, like we've said this before, but like LSS has to figure this out. Like LSS has to do some soul searching, look at these partners and be like, did these partnerships do what they said they were going to do, or did they not?
Yeah. Anyway, we've talked about all that before. No sense in bumming everyone out. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sad that you're selling your collection though.
Why?
I want that to be said, because you like, I don't know, man. Like that doesn't. You have your own identity, but you for the longest time were like the big cold foil king.
Well, I will warn that I am not selling cheap, so I might retain that title.
And like again, like you, like I have had, I think if there's anybody in the community who knows you at a actual level, like I have gotten to know you and your character at a deep level, and like, but when you put up your collection on it, it made me sad. Like I read that, and that night I was sad, and that's the only thing we said yesterday.
I'm sorry, it made you sad. I mean,
oh, you didn't make me sad. The whole situation makes me sad.
I mean, like
and this is no secret, but like I say this all the time. When everybody else was selling boxes of WTR Unlimited for $150, this is why I sent an email to you. This is, when you call me Lois on the phone, it resulted in you were on Facebook and you said, hey, boxes are $150 of Unlimited. Unlimited's not supposed to be this expensive. Send me a message and I have boxes at $80 from you. If I see you selling them for more than $80, I will never sell to you again.
Yeah.
And that attitude is why I sent you an email. And I think I even included that in the email when I sent it to you.
You did.
And like the amount of respect that I have for you in our community is immense. And I hate when I see comments that don't see that, because I think I appreciate
that. I mean, like, and like Louis, and you know this, and this will surprise nobody. I have thicker skin than
I know. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. I don't care about your feelings. I care that you. I don't know. Anyway.
Like, here's what I told somebody. Like, you can count certainly on two hands the number of people that like I care about in the community. Like, I care about everybody more or less, minus like 5 people. But like, the people who I can like the people who I consider my colleagues.
Yeah.
Like if somebody were like, if Bill were to call me and say, George, you're tripping, I would take that very seriously. If Jason were to call me and say, dude, what is wrong with you?
Right.
I would take that call very seriously. If you were like, hey man, you've gone off the deep end.
Oh wait, I haven't said that.
Well, nobody cares what you think anyway. Like, I would take that call very seriously.
Right.
If some like idiot in the message board or like some idiot on Facebook says something after they sell their own collection about me selling my collection, like I don't care what you think. I don't owe you anything.
Yeah.
Like, and also like, keep in mind, like, this policy does not affect my store in the slightest. if you're a patron at my store at Compete Sport, you have paid $100 for every box of Flesh and Blood first edition on release day, and that will continue.
Yeah,
that's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I love that. And I love that about you, because I think even like, again, like I've heard other people selling whatever, but like you're selling and you still care about the success of the game. You're not like, I'm out, I want the game to fail. You're like, I'm still going to run it at my shop. I'm still going to run events. And like, again,
my skirmish, I had to move my skirmish because I don't want to get into too much. I had to move my skirmish with 72 hours notice. Not from LSS. LSS didn't, LSS was like, do whatever the heck you want, which I appreciated. But like, I had double booked with a store that probably doesn't have as big of a following as I do in my area. So I moved my skirmish out of respect for that person who's a friend of mine, even though maybe he should have moved his. But that's all right. That's all right. Nothing but love in my heart for everybody, minus like 5 people. And like, how I countered that? I made my skirmish free.
Right.
Like, my goal on Flesh and Blood is and always has been to break even, because I don't need to make my money selling cardboard.
Yeah.
I want to see the game grow. And you
were going to make money off of your hearts and eyes. But
yeah, I mean, like, frankly, like I'm
just joking.
I know. I mean, like,
at one point you were like, I don't need to make money because look at my collection.
Yeah. I mean, like,
it's a good thing you don't use my collection tracker.
Thank God. I want to see the game grow in South Carolina. I want to see the game grow across the world. I want to see stores do well with it. I helped the store this past week figure out how to do Flesh and Blood right.
Yeah.
And that will continue. I'll just have less cold foils as I help people. Like, that's not a big deal.
Right.
I didn't help them because I had cold foil hearts. This has never been about money for me. I came out of retirement for this nonsense. Like, I do it because I like it. And let me be clear, if I ever don't like it, I'll leave.
Right.
That's easy.
Okay, I'm sad now. Let's talk about something else.
Why are you sad? I'm thrilled. All right, good. I'll make you happy. Mitch is leaving the store, and
my 2 co-hosts in the same week. One sold his collection, and one announced that his store is no longer.
Well, I mean, listen, like
that was a bummer. That was a bummer week. My 2 best friends in the community. That was a bummer week.
It is hard.
Wales, help me! Come on.
It is hard to sell boxes. It is hard to crack boxes at a profit right now.
I get it. Yeah.
Mitch made the right decision. He's also insanely busy with work. Mitch has a life, unlike us. So, good for Mitch.
That's true.
Good for Mitch. We're rooting for you in your job. I don't know, life.
Whatever it is you do. You told us once. You explained it once. We didn't understand it then. We certainly don't understand it now.
Nope. But we're rooting for you.
We're on your team, buddy.
We're on your team.
Oh man.
All right, Everfest.
All right.
What are you looking for in Everfest? What are you hoping to see?
I hope the carnival slot's really good. I hope the carnival slot is also not a like the list slot that everyone's excited for. I hope that it's cards in the set with like special treatment. Listen, if it's
this is outrageous. You are outrageous. No, you've been wrong a lot on this podcast.
Why?
Never more wrong.
Why is this wrong?
Because, man, I hope it's exactly like the list. Do you know how hype I would be if there like one box has a cold foil heart in it that we saved back?
That's not the list.
It could be the list. The heart can be on the list.
Okay. That's not what I'm saying. That's cool. I agree with you.
I know.
That's cool.
All my ideas are cool. Continue.
I'm saying, like, if you put Command and Conquer, E-Strike, all those cards in that slot's going to have a metric ton of value, which is good. But like, I think that boxes will be, I don't know. Maybe not. I think that slot's going to take a lot of value away from the rest of the set.
No, bollocks. Like, first of all, you're completely wrong about the slot. I hope it is exactly what you hope it isn't. I hope it is basically a bunch of heavy hitters from the first 5 sets that you can get in there.
So at what rate? Like there's a slot in every pack, is my understanding.
Yep. I want every pack to have something wild in it.
So every pack is a CNC or a...
No. Well, that'd be my dream, but I know LSS won't do that for me. That'd be Assad's dream. Like it would be like, I think, listen, like it's true. Like, him and Mike put a gold in every Metazoo pack.
Yeah.
Because it's playable. But let's not get to that. I mean, like you can put in a rare from one of the first 5 sets. That's fine, but I think like every box should have something spicy from the first 5 sets would be my hope.
Whatever it is, I think Carnival slot makes or breaks the set.
No, nonsense. Don't listen to Louis. He's bad for you.
I think from a box opening perspective. Sorry.
No.
Listen.
No, you're wrong.
Why?
I have I'll be honest.
Oh, stop it. I have high hopes for the set too.
Doesn't sound like it. I have the highest.
Oh my gosh.
I have probably more hope for this set than I have for any other set. I'll be honest. I'm hyped. I'm super hyped for this set.
Here's what I want. This is the exciting. I wanted to talk about the Carnival slot. You're just going to say everything I say is wrong. I want the excitement to the set to be this. Ready?
I'm ready.
Generic equipment for each talent that allows your hero to interact with the different talents.
All right.
Listen, now we're into
that's gonna be wild busted.
Now we're into like all sorts of mechanics and craziness, but I have total faith in LSS to pull it off. Like, imagine it's like a helmet. And like the only effect of it's a legendary helmet, whatever. Wouldn't be a legendary, but it's a helmet, and the only effect of it is that your hero gets shadow. It's a shadow. So now you can run Carrion Husk, right? And it allows you to interact with all these other cards, and it expands the card pool. I don't know how it's possible. That's like Ultimate Pit Fight Louis wants that. You know what I mean? Like Ultimate Pit Fight Louis, who like wants to be able to like mix and match all Louis. Who wants to be able to like mix and match and like try out new things. It's probably not balanced for competitive play, which is, if you are caring about competitive play, you should go watch Arsenal Past and not our podcast.
Let's be clear, you can probably do that even if you're not into competitive play. Let's be real with each other here. But that's all right.
I want something that changes the way that we interact with these talents.
I like that. I don't think it's possible, but I like that. I mean,
because I don't remember if we're
I hope Briar gets some help as he's my hero. She's my hero. I'm sorry. I play Briar and she's my hero.
Listen,
and I hope that they give her some oomph.
This is the last
her up a little bit.
This is the last set in this block. We were just talking about that, right? And so I think if there's anything spicier with the talent system, other than the talent system is what it is, if there's any cross-classing or any sort of mixing up of the talents, it's going to happen in Everfest. And I think that would be cool.
I think it's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. If there's a way to cross talents, it'll be in Everfest.
Yeah.
I'm hyped. I am super hyped for the carnival theme. For 2 reasons. A, carnivals are awesome. But also, listen, this is very different thematically than the first 5 sets.
For sure.
This has been I am super pumped about this.
It's the perfect setup for a PvE encounter. Listen, have you ever seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space? That is a fantastic movie. And that means that there's space. Whoa.
I hope PvE is an NFT experience. Then it'd be really good, wouldn't it, Louis?
Stop it, you and your NFTs that you're gonna buy.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, and I'm gonna be so obnoxious about it.
When you're repping your
I'm gonna be nope.
Somebody please buy George's collection so that I can just anyway. Moving on.
I think this is gonna be a dope set. I'm also like I think listen, like I think this is the sign that let me rephrase. Let me walk that back. I hope this is a sign that they're like, okay, we got to lighten this up a little bit. We got to
100% opposite. You and I are so different.
What?
I love it. You see Carnival and you see happy games.
Yeah.
I see Carnival. I see Carnival. Yes, that's like my go-to. Like, dude, it's gonna be dark, sinister. It's gonna be
James White. Do not do this to me, please.
It's gonna be like. Sorry, maybe not. Dark and sinister are very strong words. listen. Look at the sets. They're gonna mix Monarch and Tales. Monarch had all these dark themes and all this stuff, and Tales was all this bright stuff. You put those things together, and I think you could have a really, really cool mixture. I'm just saying, listen, I don't know what's going to actually happen.
This is all just like
my guess is that you're probably right.
This is not a Scoopy. This is a what's going on.
When I hear Carnival, I do not think. I don't know. I just don't.
I think that
when you put it in a card
game,
how are they going to make a card game out of that?
I don't know. I'm not a game designer.
I just think like you need an enemy. Right? Like you need some sort of. I still think we get a lore book. Look at the pack art. The pack art is like it looks exactly
with Everfest.
Yeah, I think we get a lore book that's all about what's happening at the carnival.
Maybe
and it has PVE included. That's the lore book. I know. I think there's really cool things. It's going to be really interesting to see where they go with the dynamic.
Yeah. I'm hyped. I mean this is, because like people are like, weren't you more excited about Welcome to Wraith Alpha? I'm like, no, because like it was scary to take on a new game. Like that was not exciting. That was terrifying. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's like this is probably the most excited I've been for a new set.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a really good box. I also like supplemental sets have much better value distribution.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
You could do a video about that, or
I should talk about that sometimes, and
that'd be
good make a point of that. It would almost be like you agree with me on something. I think here's the thing. I think Everfest is gonna have great value. Do not order it for more than MSRP right now.
It's already at map. Who's buying it? Who's buying it at MSRP? It's already at map.
Somebody made the
don't overspend.
Somebody was like, Louis, no, it's not at map. It's at MSRP, and Tales Unlimited is at $50 a box. So I said, wait a second. You think that's better? We're talking about the Star City Games thing. I was like, you think that's better for stores? That's way worse than for stores, because for the next 60 days the only thing they have to sell is Toa Unlimited. So if you're gonna make that $50, like, anyway, I hated that sale. I was angry. That was
you were cranky about that sale. I don't really care.
It's just early. It's I didn't think that we got to stop bundling first and unlimited. I don't know.
I agree with that. And I think LSS could come down with that rule. That would not shock me.
Anyway, I don't want to get into things LSS should do anymore. We need to take a break from that. Yeah.
I didn't say they should. I said I think they might, but that's fine. You do you.
Yeah, Everfest, I'm hyped. I do think there's got to be a villain. Like there's got to be some sort of.
All right, never mind. I won't say it. I won't say my hot take.
Hot take it. Come on.
I don't get lore. I've never understood lore. I remember like when I was big into board games, one of my best friends would like explain to the game through the lens of the story. And I'm like, so the pink cube does this. Like, I don't need to know like what if the pink cube is cloth or gold. Like I just my mind does not think that way.
Somebody,
I'm
I
stupid.
was reading an article today that somebody was saying, sorry, I always say I was reading an article. I was reading a Reddit post.
The real articles. I was watching a documentary. I mean, TikTok.
And it was talking about how something like they did some survey, Wizards did some survey for Magic the Gathering, and something like 7 or 8% of the fans care about the lore.
Yeah.
And
That's
I think
like,
that's fair.
I'm shocked it's that high.
But there's a difference between lore and theme. And like thematically, if you're opening up packs and everything's just like, oh, let's play corn toss. Oh, here's a sledgehammer that hits the, like, you've got to have a reason that sledgehammer is a weapon. Like, I fully think one of the majestic weapons in this set is going to be the weapon that's used to hit the you slam it down and the thing goes up and hits the bell. Huh?
The mallet.
Is that what that's called? Anyway, that's going to be one of the weapons. And like, if you don't have a reason to use that weapon to hit something, then it's like, why is this even a thing? That's my hot take. It's like, there has to be you have to build in some sort of enemy.
This is a difference between us. I'm a player and you're kind of a collector.
No, I'm called a content creator.
Content creator. So like, that's the difference between us, I guess. Is like, I really care about the card and like what it does. You care about the story because you got to create content. I just care about like, how can this give me a advantage over my foe? I went 4-2 in my skirmish, by the way.
We need to play a game together.
I went 4-2 in my skirmish, boss. I will tell you.
We need to play a game together. It'd be a lot of fun.
Guess what hero I played?
Briar.
Yeah, that's correct.
We need to play a game together.
I did not have
what we're planning. Everyone,
Briar at my championship table.
Wow, good job.
Well, the final 2, not the final 8. The final 2. It was still a draft. Like,
what was it? Was it Oldham Lexi or Lexi?
Well, that would be the Oldham Lexi.
I mean, yeah, it could have been. Everyone, can I break the news that what we're going to be doing at some point in this life?
Yeah,
we're going to be playing a game of Halo together.
Oh, I didn't even know. I thought you were talking about our Pro Tour.
Our Pro Tour?
Our Pro Quest.
Oh, no. No.
I got to buy a new Xbox controller. Mine's wrecked. I got to buy a new one so I can beat you.
Yeah, the new Halo came out and I was like, George, we need to play. He said yes. Yeah. I did not anticipate that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna play Halo together. We're gonna live stream it from a different YouTube channel.
Let me be clear here. Halo is my generation.
No, Halo is my generation.
No, I remember very clearly, like, let me phrase that. I like groggily remember playing Halo not under the substance of alcohol.
Yeah, but you were in college doing that, and I was having LAN parties at my house with my middle school friends.
Middle school?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, when were you in college?
Jesus. I went to college 2001.
Yeah, no, 2001, I was 9.
Oh, God, you are going to speak at my funeral.
So is that elementary school?
Well, I'm glad you paid me back with my own depression. That's lovely.
Anyway, we're gonna be playing Halo, and I can't wait for it. It's not gonna be on this channel because there will be too many people angry with me about.
Why?
I don't know.
Tell them to buzz off. That's been my policy this year. You're like, I don't think you could do this. Oh. Did I ask you your opinion?
You know my policy in 2021. Did you know this? What my policy was? Say yes.
Yeah.
I just. Anytime.
I remember that now.
Yeah, that's how you ended up on the video because you asked and I just said yes to everything. All right, yeah, cool. Everfest is gonna be cool. It needs an enemy. It can't just be happy-go-lucky. I think that's not gonna happen.
Do you think LSS should do a crossover with Halo?
Duh. Everyone should do a crossover.
Yeah, me too. I'll be honest.
Speaking of crossovers with Halo, ready for this transition?
Yeah, let's do it.
The new Magic the Gathering Unset.
Gonna be hype.
I don't know. So I was all hyped about it until I learned that the cards were legal in Legacy.
Wait, they're legal in Commander.
They're legal
Right.
in Legacy, according to Josh from Hometown TCG, which, I mean, you know, who knows? But
Are they also legal in Commander? I thought they were also legal in Commander.
yeah, they're legal in Commander too.
That's all my players care about. I'm hyped. I'm like super hyped. It's like, I don't understand Magic. Here's what I don't get. Are they intentionally taking standard sets just so their non-standard sets look amazing?
I don't know, but their standard sets are horrible.
They're awful.
The Brothers War looks good for next year. I'm stoked on the Brothers War, and because I like artifacts.
Here's what I think. They could just stick to one world the entire year. I want 8 Innistrad sets. I want one vampire per set. Let's do this thing. No, that's not fair. That'd be 85 sets a year.
And then at the end of the year, have a box that's all 8 of them.
Yeah, that'd be great. They can make it a secret lair. It'll be wonderful.
They should just go all secret lair.
I mean, like, it's coming. I mean, like, that will not shock me at all.
There will be a secret lair set in 2023, guaranteed. They should call it secret lair. They should call it.
What a novel name, Louis. It's a great
Magic
point.
the Gathering, a secret lair draft booster, 3 secret layers.
A Flesh and Blood podcast. I could call it Secret Lair of Flesh and Blood podcast.
I don't know. It looks really good. I'm stoked for like the I'm a huge fan of the foil lands.
This set's gonna be crazy.
The shock lands.
I'll tell you, I've gone hard on this set. I've gotten like I used to get like 2 pallets of boxes every Magic release, roughly 2 to 3. Lately, it's been down to like a pallet and sometimes like 3/4 of a pallet. There's just like no demand for like these standard Magic sets. I ordered like 5 pallets of this unset.
That's awesome.
I'm like, well, you know, I'm sure Wizards will screw me, and I'll be stuck with 4 of the pallets, but that's all right.
It's all right. We can open them on the channel.
It eventually goes up.
It's space.
I mean, like,
unsets have performed relatively well too. The print run for them have not been massive. I'm sure that will change here, but
I don't know. Wizards is weird. I mean, Wizards is just like they're Looney Tunes.
Collector boxes too for it, which is
I don't love that, but like it's like what? So it's funny. I told this to my players that there's gonna be a collector box. At first, we're like, oh, then they were like, oh wait, it's legal in Commander. That's awesome. You could get a bunch of those. I'm like,
man, Commander players are the best.
That's all I have.
Yeah, that's all.
I mean, I don't think I have anybody. Like, I only do draft and Commander. That's literally it in my store.
Wow.
These poor saps come in. They're like, oh, does anybody here play Modern? No, get out. Get a Commander deck and come back. Like, we only play Commander.
I watch Desolator Magic. That's like the only Magic channel. I don't even watch Rudy's Magic content anymore. I just watch Desolator Magic.
I literally only watch Rudy now. It's like...
and everyone's
like
always
from the seriousness.
Everyone's always so surprised that I watch Des because he's so negative. Like, he's such just like a not nice, happy, not that anyway. And I love it because he's just like stupidly raw and honest, and like that's what I like. And he has been reaming. He's like, they announced some bans. He's like, they missed 22 cards. Here are the 22 cards I think they need to ban in order for Standard to be healthy again. And
I love the constant, like, how do we make Standard not terrible?
Well, so this is a great point, and I actually tend to agree with this. It would suck for a store, but they need to reduce the power level of Standard. They need to go way
hard to reset, and they don't like right.
And the effect of a hard reset is millions of dollars in sales that affects the LGS. This is the result of a company running stuff so horribly for 10 years, like the absolute worst.
I'll be honest, like, so here's like you ready for the hot take?
Bring it in.
This is a hot take. We did one of our first like full-born Metazoo events this past week, about 2 weeks ago now. My Magic players have eaten Metazoo up because it's the same. It's a similar mana system.
Yeah, you don't have to like fully learn a new game. It's easier to learn. Yeah.
they have gone nuts for the zoo. They have gone crazy for the zoo.
On Nightfall?
Nightfall, yeah.
Yeah.
And like,
Nightfall's I think a better set.
Nightfall's way better for playability.
Yeah.
Way better. And it's like they like it that you don't have to like learn this new system.
Yeah.
And like, I'll be honest, if I were WotC, I'd keep an eye on the zoo. This caught me off guard. Like, people always liked opening the zoo, right? It's a great product, great set. People love opening it. But like with Nightfall, they're playing the daylights out of it.
Yeah.
If I were WotC, I'd keep my peepers on Mike. And if I were Mike, I'd hire a bodyguard because WotC's shady.
I think there's a lot of truth there.
This caught me completely off guard.
I think that the issue is that Magic has this I mean, we saw it, like, they just don't do anything. Like, they just don't do anything else. I think probably your store is a little different.
Yeah,
they just don't do any, like, the Magic ecosystem. Like, they just stop playing. Well, the key there is like when they stop playing, they'll pick up something else.
I've had more people for Metazoo. I've had more people for Fab. I've had more people for My Hero Academia than I have for Magic the last 6 months.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. I think you see tons of people stop playing Magic. This is probably what I'm going to start doing. It, like, literally just playing Commander. That's the only. Like, I have zero interest in running or going to any standard events. Yeah. Modern is like, no, I don't want to play. Awful. I don't want to play a 3-turn game. That doesn't sound fun. You know, it just doesn't seem fun to me. I hate it when Commander ends up like that.
I've had more Genesis players than I have Magic players this month, I bet.
That's awesome.
If actually it's close, if not.
Yeah. You'll get a lot after the Kickstarter too when you start pushing that.
People are super pumped for the Kickstarter.
It's good.
And it's funny. Somebody was like, what do you take away from Nostalgics having more than Assad and Kickstarter? I'm like, well, Metazoo rose like $15 in their Kickstarter, and they seem to really be struggling. So I think it's a great gauge of future success. I mean, like, you know, part of me is just like, you guys, like,
after the Kickstarter is way more important than during the Kickstarter.
Yeah, like what Assad is creating is a way for the game to continue.
Yeah.
What a lot of these other companies are doing is like, come get your tendies.
Right.
And like this was like, you know, I think, you know, I tell everybody, like, you know, Metazoo didn't do well on Kickstarter. Kickstarter doesn't tell you how well the market will bear your product.
Yeah.
It tells you how well Kickstarter will bear your product.
I would have loved to, instead of I can legitimately, I've said this multiple times on the podcast, I can legitimately remember backing Metazoo and then like my wife being like, no. Like, I can remember that day. I was putting my daughter to bed. I was sitting in the chair. She, you know, waiting for her to fall asleep. I was playing on my phone. I backed things, and like it would be so funny to like listen. I wonder what was
an article,
huh?
Reading an article.
Reading an article.
I was watching a documentary on TikTok.
And it was anyway, I think it'd be really funny to see Mike's reaction during that campaign. Like, was he happy about it? I don't think we've ever asked him that. Like, we
should ask him that. That's a good question.
That's a really good question. Were you excited about the Kickstarter campaign at the end of it, or were you like, oh, that did not go what I thought it was? Or were you like, no, we raised whatever they raised for
$20,000, I think
$24,000, I think, something like that.
I mean, like,
this is not the Metazoo Minute. We got to keep moving.
We sold more. He's going to sell more money in playing decks by $1 billion.
One Kickstarter box is going to be worth as much as the entire Kickstarter raised.
It literally could be. Amazing.
Oh man.
Like, I don't know. Like, I think the new unset's going to be awesome. My players are hyped for it. I'm going heavy on it, so it'll be a bad set, and I'll get burned with pallets of.
How did
Magic.
Commander Legends collector boosters work for you?
They produced, I think, 14 for the United States.
Oh, really?
So that was really great. I appreciated that, WotC. That was really nice of you. Thank you.
That
was the shortest printed collector booster, I think, of any I've gotten.
That makes sense. I don't have any of this. That's great.
I was like furious. Like, my rep. I am good friends with all 3 of my reps. Like, I genuinely like all 3 of my reps. Not their bosses sometimes, but their reps I love. And I felt so bad. I let my rep have it because I was like, this is BS.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to burn me, you should have burned me months ago.
Right.
Because, like, I usually get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. I think I got like 200, 250, like nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing for the collector boosters. And now it's funny because, like, you can still order Commander Legends from distribution.
Yeah. The draft boxes, not the collectors, but the draft boxes.
That's wild to me.
That draft set didn't sit very well.
That was when I remember I talked to my WotC rep.
Yeah. And
I was like, you are never allowed to tell me you guys ever play test a set ever again.
Yeah.
Because, like, I will never forget this. My old store manager was very good about not calling me at night because it's past my bedtime. And he called me at midnight. He's like, I don't know what to do. We have 3 rounds left. We've been doing this for 4 hours. And I'm like, what? Like, why are you calling me? Like, what is happening? They're like, can I just give everybody packs and then they can all go home? This is awful. I was like, yeah, just give them packs. I'm going back to bed. Why are you bothering me? And like,
my gosh.
Like, that is unquestionably the worst draft set of. I would rather draft Hyborian Gates.
Let's do it.
Than I would rather than Commanders. Like,
I've got the boxes.
That was like unthinkably terrible.
Oh man.
And my WotC rep was like, yeah, like what you can do is you can do 2 picks, then 1 pick. I'm like, it's unplayable in draft. You literally told stores that this is a draftable Commander set. You lied. This is awful. MTG Goldfish, which is by far the best Magic the Gathering podcast, other than this one.
Other than this one now. May the zoo be with you.
Yeah, may the zoo be with you. A Magic the Gathering, Genesis, Metazoo, Fab podcast. They had a great debate about whether or not they'd rather organize chaff or draft Commander Legends. And they ended up split.
That's great. That's gold.
I'd rather organize chaff.
Yeah, that's gold.
That was an awful set.
I never got to draft it, but I heard only bad things.
Want to come down? You can host it from my store.
No,
it'll be great. They'll love you.
No. Yeah, I'm stoked with that. I think the Brothers War set's gonna be cool. That one, I'm excited for. I don't know why I'm excited for that one.
I don't know why either.
But I am. The rest of the sets, I think Wall of Fatigue's gonna sit in, and they're not gonna perform very well.
You know what?
Double Masters.
Hype.
I'm
gonna go nuts on that set.
Yeah, I missed out on Double Masters. So Double Masters is I got hosed by some company. I bought like that. That was the first set that I ever just was like YOLO'd on, and I sold stuff and I spent like $2,000. For me, it was like a ton of money. I know you're like, oh, I ordered $2 million worth, but for me, $2,000. I think I ordered 20 of the collector booster things or the whatever boosters. I got hosed on them. They didn't send them, so like I didn't have,
the VIP packs.
Yeah, the VIP packs. Yeah. Like they didn't send them. I had to do a whole PayPal dispute, so I got nothing.
That is still, I think I'd have to confirm this. That might still be the best-selling box in my store's history.
Yeah, that thing was amazing. I ended up getting 2 from my LGS locally, but like, I loved that set so much. It was so cool.
It's expensive this year.
What do you mean?
The new Quintuple Masters that's coming out at the end of next year.
Oh, have they released the prices?
There's been rumors.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, look at Modern Horizons 2.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's more than that?
Oh, if the rumors are true, which is an if.
Interesting.
I don't know what they could put in there. Like cold foil Black Lotus.
Reserve plus cold foil Black Lotus. What? It just gives the middle finger to literally every single TCG. A cold foil Black Lotus.
Put the Mothman in the corner.
Mothman. That's what I was going to say. It's just middle finger to everything. All the other TCGs go to 0, and they released a game board that you can play it on. And Genesis is just sad. Like, just They anger everyone.
Cold foil Black Lotus would be amazing.
Cold foil Black Lotus with Mothman. They completely alienate all their reserve list investors.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
All their players can't afford the product. They just blow it all up. That's the only way.
I'll be honest. If the rumors are true, this is going to be a pricey set.
That's the only way 2022 can go as well as 2021.
They announced it on New Year's Day. Guess we have all year to prepare for the cold foil Black Lotus.
Oh man, now I want a cold foil Black Lotus. Way too bad. Can we proxy that? Are we proxying cold foils yet? Is there a way to get that?
You're not allowed to do that in store for LSS policy. Sorry, boss.
LSS doesn't want me to play with a cold foil Black Lotus.
Oh, I don't know. You're the policy of Wizards. I don't.
Should that be the podcast name? Cold foil Black Lotus?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, you ready for the Metazoo minute? It's an hour and 10 minutes in.
Wait, I had a question for you.
Oh, is this your George surprise?
Yeah.
I'm supposed to remind you of your surprise?
No, I'm reminding you. Okay. Somebody asked me if you were too young for South Park, and I did not know the answer to that.
Oh, I literally watched South Park tonight. I was watching the episode where they...
after the Captain Planet thing, I don't know anymore.
I was watching the episode where the girls make a list of the the most attractive boys. I watched South Park through. So my stepdad and I started watching South Park when I was like 10.
It's funny. My dad and I did too. Yeah. Like my parents got divorced when I was young, and like my dad and I like bonded over watching South Park in like this tiny 400-foot house.
When I was, I think we talked about my Colorado trip a couple of weeks ago on the podcast. On that trip, the single thing that I was most excited about, and the single thing that my stepdad Doug was most excited about, was Casa Bonita. We had like what I think
they were closing. You ready for this? They were closing, and South Park creators gave them money to stay open.
Oh, that's amazing.
I want you to know, like, I want to go there. I have an arcade in Colorado. I have a fun park. I want to go.
Let's go to Colorado. We'll play. We'll go with Joey, and at Fable Collections, we'll play some. Flesh and Blood. Oh, you're just gonna smoke pot the whole time?
And go to Casa Bonita.
And go for the munchies.
Look, it's me high as a kite, playing some briar, eating some tacos.
There you go. Sounds like a great day. I'm a big fan of South Park. I like a lot of older stuff. I still don't know what Captain Planet is, but
he's a hero.
Like Star Wars, big fan of Star Wars.
I got the new signature set box that came out from Topps this year.
Oh yeah, I didn't even know that came out.
Pricey,
dude. Have you opened Metazoo Top Stacks yet?
Yeah,
so much fun.
Yeah.
Okay, that's small Metazoo minute. That was your surprise. Was South Park? I'm disappointed.
I don't care about your disappointment.
Who asked you that?
I forget. It was in somebody was like, "Does he know South Park?" And I was like, "I don't know."
Yes.
Well, like,
it's fine.
I understood the question.
I get it. It's valid.
Okay. A lot of announcements this week from Metazoo.
All about NFTs. The only thing we can talk about is NFTs.
Lord, please give me strength.
It's
Lord,
only that's if Metazoo released something else, I was not paying attention to it.
They announced the Deep Brew shirts are shipping today.
Great.
I am super hyped for my Deep Brew shirt.
I don't even remember how many I ordered.
Limited ones. You got one.
Oh yeah.
That one crushed my spirit. I'll be honest. I'm like, I want a set. And my fat butt is gonna have to pay for a set.
Just once you sell your fab, you can just buy Deep Brew shirts.
I'm not gonna lie, I might be able to afford the shirts before that. I gotta take out a mortgage, but I can do that.
Yeah.
I'm super hyped for the Deep Brews. Let's talk about the. Do you know about the playing cards, or did you only literally focus?
Listen,
on
I saw the playing cards. I saw the Debris shirts.
It's kickstarting the playing cards. It looks like.
Yeah, it looks like what his new Kickstarter is going to be. So somebody, the whole you can grade them thing. I was like, why am I grading playing cards? And then somebody was like,
there's
Louis, you dummy. There's gonna be some cool stuff in the boxes. I was like, dang it! I can't believe I didn't see it.
I intentionally did not talk to the GOAT about this beforehand because I did not want him to shade my gut reaction to this because I don't want any inside information that I can't share about this.
Okay.
Here is my gut. First of all, I think like there's going to be some spicies in those playing decks.
Interesting.
I think there's going to be some heat in those playing decks. I'm going to kickstart the living daylights out of those decks.
I think they're a perfect thing to like get you like, oh, this is what I love. Like you're going to be playing, it's going to be Christmas Eve, not this year, next year. It'll be Christmas Eve. You'll be with your family. Somebody will be like, hey, you guys want to play a game of euchre? And oh wait, you're not from Northeast Ohio. Somebody will be like, you don't know what euchre is, do you?
I do. Though my family only plays Flesh and Blood, but continue.
Oh, somebody will be like, hey, do you want to play a game of poker? And you'll get out your Metazoo cards.
Yeah.
Like, what is this? And like that to me, it is
Metazoo sleeves have taken over my store. People love Metazoo
because of the spellbook sleeves.
Yeah. People love Metazoo. Like people love the art of Metazoo.
I mean,
they
like
love
at a household level. Like when he was talking about the the 55 verticals, like that's a vertical in my mind because it's like, how do you get your parents interested in seeing and asking the question and be like, I just talked about the NFTs to my mom and she's like, oh, that's really interesting, honey.
She does not know or care about that, but I love it.
She has no clue. It's poor lady.
I think there should be some spices. And you ready for the hottest take?
Hottest take.
I think this is his test of like, do I need distribution?
Oh, because he could just kickstart everything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that's true. I intentionally did not ask the GOAT this.
You ready for the hotter take?
Yeah, let's do it.
He doesn't need Kickstarter because he
can get to a pre-order system.
Because he has the NFTs.
Oh, Jesus. Is there any reasoning behind this, or just like nonsense?
Like it's a coin to get in. It's a
so
option.
No coin, no decks. Only people who have coins can buy the product. That seems remarkably stupid.
I mean, as a coin holder, I kind of like.
I also own coins, and I think that's stupid.
I think that it doesn't have to be these coins. I think that there's what's his face? Gary Vee talks about this all the time. That why do you need Kickstarter if you do an NFT backed project? And maybe this isn't this year. Maybe this is 3 years down the road when NFTs aren't so, disliked by the world. They are. Listen, they are. But you why do you need that when you can crowdsource all your fundraising and give them something rather than giving Kickstarter whatever it is 10%? I would be super interested in knowing what percentage, like comparatively to distribution, you give Kickstarter 15%, then you still have to figure out how to distribute all the product. Like
I think Metazoo is probably big enough to just do pre-orders on their site.
Yeah,
like that'd be my gut. Like I think Assad's talking about some cool ideas of how to handle distribution. I think Mike should look at it. I mean, like I think
as a store, how do you handle it?
Listen, like here has been my thoughts on like games as a whole. If the game's good enough, I'm going to find a way to get it. When I first saw Metazoo and I was like, oh my God, this thing is going to take over the world. I have no idea how to order it. I messaged Mike. At that point, I didn't know who it was. I assumed it was just some helper on the Metazoo Discord that ended up being the GOAT. And he was like, I only go through Golden. And guess what? I had never heard of Golden before in my life before.
Yeah, I had never.
So I made a Golden account, and that was not the easiest thing. Then I couldn't get a hold of my rep, and guess what I did? I called him until my phone went out.
But if everything's Kickstarter, then how does that? You see what I'm saying? Like, how does that gravitate? How do you, as a store, make money if everything's?
You can have a retailer tier like Assad does. Assad's telling people order through your store.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
I think distribution should be careful.
I agree. I think getting rid of distribution is smart. But I think you still need to have exclusive LGS is what I'm saying outside of the Kickstarter. Maybe it's at the Kickstarter tier is the only one that has booster boxes, right? Like you can just listen, hear me out. I'm just talking. We're just back and forth. You can back the product, and if you back the product, you get this, that, and the other thing. Metazoo makes their money, but retailers the only one that can back the Kickstarter tier, and then you still are driving people to your local game store to get stuff. I'm just saying, like, there's still ways to do it.
Yeah.
But I don't think Kickstarter is the perfect platform either.
No, I mean, like, I think there's I don't think this current generation of TCGs is as tied to distribution as the old tier.
Yeah.
I think there's also, like, listen, it's a lot easier nowadays to do this stuff without a distributor than it was back in the 80s and 90s, right?
Yeah, because the distributor was your marketer too, right?
Right. I mean, like, Metazoo needs a lot of things. It does not need a marketer. Like, it doesn't even, like, Metazoo has no problem marketing. Like, Metazoo needs Metazoo needs a printer who can get me devoted to it, because, like, the market is eating everything Mike throws out there. Like, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, the market is gobbling up everything Metazoo. It's unbelievable.
You could also see, like, Kickstarter just being for these kind of secondary things, like the cards.
That could be
like the playing cards, and then finding a solution at distribution elsewhere, or creating your own distribution company.
I would Kickstarter the Deep Brew shirts if I could get a set of them. I would have done that. That'd been dope.
You would have done anything for a set. Are you gonna switch from wearing Hawaiian shirts to wearing Deep Brew shirts?
I really like those Deep Brew shirts, I'll be honest.
I know you do. You like anything with the Metazoo name on it, man.
God, that's like I have a Louis Vuitton briefcase.
You would.
And yeah.
That makes sense.
And I carry it to where I have my breakfast most mornings.
The bagel shop.
Yeah, at the bagel shop.
Did they give you your bagel? Yesterday, everyone, George ordered a bagel. I was on the phone with him the whole process. This is how our phone call goes. George calls me, I answer, and 30 seconds later, George is ordering food somewhere, and I have to sit there for a minute and a half to 2 minutes while George orders his food.
That's not true, because I order online, but continue.
He gets his food.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're talking to somebody. Anyway, he gets his food. We talk for 10, 15 minutes. And then he gets home and there's no bagel.
There's no bagel. Like, I got my omelet, but no bagel.
Talking about something. He's like, holy crap, this has never happened before.
This never happened. I got screwed out of my bagel.
I remember what we were talking about before I got to the bagel store.
So my briefcase, and I have switched over to the Metazoo backpack. I'll be honest with you.
Louis Vuitton briefcase.
I just love it. I love it.
My backpacks are hanging up.
I love it. I can't help it. I love it. Like,
I don't leave my house, so I don't have to use a bag.
There is something so freaking contagious, to me at least, about, like, the Metazoo art. I cannot get enough of it.
Here's what I'm learning about Metazoo. You either hate it,
yes,
or it captures.
Yeah.
And like, I keep getting.
Why is my house not ripped? Why is my house not decorated in nothing but Metazoo wrap?
It's like for your whole life, that red, you just hate that red, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh wait, no, I love the red. And somebody told me the other day, they were like, hey, I bought a Metazoo box and I opened the packs and I really like it, and I'm sorry for the comments that I left 6 months ago. I said, listen, man, I get it.
My store,
because I was like,
that's not fair. Probably a third of my store did not believe my love of the zoo. They thought the fat man had gone crazy. Yeah. That could still be partially true. But, like, now, like, I'll be honest, man, the zoo's taken over my store. It's great. It's awesome.
I'll tell you what I like second most about the zoo.
Yeah.
The number one is, I think Mike's got it as a CEO, and that's something I think we all agree on. But the thing which is connected to that is that, like, when he fails, when Metazoo fails at something, they find a way to succeed with it. Like, they find a way to continuously make you, like, they're like, hey, this didn't go the way that I had planned, or we had planned, but this is the way we're gonna make up for it, or this is what we're gonna do to keep you engaged through it. And I think, like, have you ever played disc golf?
Yeah.
Really?
I went to a hippie college. Of course I did.
So, like, when I was playing disc golf a lot, I was playing with a disc golf pro. I know you're like, Louis, you must be really good at disc golf. Spoiler alert, I'm not. And one of the things he always said to me was, your first shot doesn't matter. It's how you recover from that mess up. Like, it's how you recover from the shot that you throw into the woods. You can still do really good. And like, I think like that's what matters in any of this stuff. It's like, yeah, you can make mistakes. It's how you recover from this stuff. So, you know, I think
what
like
both Mike and Assad get more than anything else is this deep and passionate connection to their community.
Exactly.
Like when Mike doesn't know he messed up until the community's like, I did not like this. Then he immediately responds. Like my favorite example of this is like the shoes that he was going to do for this next set. People didn't like the silhouette of the shoes. Yeah. And he was like, I heard you. We're changing it. We're going to make our own.
The silhouette is massive. I just can't pronounce that word. There's nothing special. Yeah.
So like Mike is deeply connected to the community. And like that is, and let me be clear, like you can't fake that. You can't fake that. Like that comes from living in your community.
Wilderness.
Hype.
I'm more excited for the UFO set.
I'm not, I'll be honest.
Wilderness, I think, is really cool. I hope we see different Sasquatches.
That'd be fun.
You see Bigfoot, and then you have different Sasquatches. Because have you ever listened to Sasquatch? Oh yeah, this isn't even planned. Have you ever listened to like Sasquatch like history?
So you ready for the weirdest thing you're gonna learn tonight? I did not know what a cryptid was before I got into Metazoo. I had no idea what a cryptid was.
So there's a podcast I listened to.
A documentary.
It's all about cryptids. This was before Metazoo.
Really? Yeah. Are you serious?
So all right, let's do, now we're really in the weeds, an hour and 22 minutes in.
That's fine. All 5 of you that are still listening, you deserve these stories.
So there's a band that I really love when I was in high school. Yeah, this goes all the way back.
Oh my God.
I was
not prepared for that.
A band that I really love called Sherwood.
My mom used to read me this amazing bedtime story.
Yeah, and Sherwood, the lead singer's name is Nate Henry. And during COVID, before I started this YouTube channel, I started a different YouTube channel. I had a podcast with my friend about music. And we reached out to Nate Henry and we're like, hey, man, we'd love to talk about Sherwood and the band. And he's like, well, I'm not, the band, as you know, really isn't there. I do a podcast now that's all about cryptids. I was like, what? What's a cryptid? And so we actually had him on the podcast to talk about, Sherwood and the band and stuff. But I started listening to his podcast and it's like all like they have guests on that like track Sasquatches. And like,
really?
I gotta hold on. While we're listening, but like, it was like one of the most interesting, like, yeah,
it's not my thing.
Really?
Not my thing. I don't do the story thing. I'll be honest. I don't like fiction. Even as a kid, I hated fiction.
Hated fiction.
Just like depressing. I was a depressing kid. Yeah.
Yeah. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I can't figure out what the name of the podcast is right now.
You'll put in the comments below.
I should just look at my Spotify. Anyway, it's super good. And like they have people on, and what I learned about, where I was going with this is like, it's not just like Bigfoot, like the Loch Ness Monster. It's like, there are Sasquatches and like that they
is it
have
Sasquatches or Sasquatchi?
I think it's Sasquatches that they, that there's different like themes of not themes, but like different variations of like the family. Sasquatch. Yeah. It's crazy. And like, I think you're going to see some of that in Wilderness, which is kind of cool. Like, it's going to be the Sasquatch.
Mike is all into like the cryptid authenticity.
Yeah. Well, that's what he needs to be.
Yeah.
Like, so he's doing that promo card. This is spiciest take. I think the coolest promos that Metazoo is ever going to do. They're doing those promo cards. They announced this like a month or two ago, where they're like at the Mothman Museum. You'll have to go to the museum to get the think about the demand that's going to bring to the Mothman Museum. I love it.
Really taken to this like obligation to the cryptid community in a way that listen, like cryptids aren't my thing, but that's really admirable to me.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to make a ton of money off of cryptids, I think it's awesome that you give it back to these museums that honor them and their stories. Like, I think that's awesome.
Yep.
Like, I know Texas Ted does, like, he is all into cryptids too. Like, he is great about that at the conventions. He'll talk to about the cryptids, where they came from, why they're in the game. Like, he's great about that.
Yeah.
Metazoo's just like,
that's good stuff.
Love the zoo. Love the zoo.
It's good. It's amazing.
It is.
All right.
And you know what? It really is. Like, it really, like, you know me. I don't like opening boxes. I hate opening boxes. I love opening the zoo.
Yesterday you don't watch my content, but today I just posted a video about grading cards, and I was going to send a Mothman into every card grading service to get graded, and a cold foil Luminaris. And I went to get my Mothman, and I had 4 Nightfall Mothmen. And so then I was like, oh, I guess I got to open a box. Well, I opened a box and I didn't get one. And then I was like, oh, I guess I got to open another box.
Like,
I pulled 2 in that box. I was like,
they're so good. I love opening Metazoo.
Yeah. Good. It's amazing. It's fun. Yeah. It's got it.
Yeah.
There will be things that we need to talk about that need to be better, but I think, like, right now,
I think the box seems overfilled with packs. Like, my biggest critique so far of Nightfall.
36 is too many.
Well, I don't care about that, but like, the box seems like it should hold 34.
I totally disagree.
Really?
Yeah. Have you ever held a Cryptid Nation First Edition box?
No, Louis. What's that like?
You feel the opposite. You feel like the box is just going to crumble in your hands.
Well, luckily there's a middle ground, right?
No middle ground.
No, it's got to be one or the other. It's got to be chock full or empty.
Listen, I think I like Nightfall better than Cryptid Nation 1. I've told you this before.
Oh, by far. Nightfall is way, way, way better than Cryptid Nation First to me.
Yeah.
Way better. Love Nightfall. Nightfall, like, it's funny. I liked Cryptid Nation First a lot. I really like Cryptid Nation. Metazoo is just like, I love it. Like, and I'll tell you why. You ready for this? This is why.
I'm ready.
The packs are better to open. The packs are much easier to open.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Packs are impossible to open.
I just love being able to rip.
Yeah. They rip so easily.
So good.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Anyway. That's it. That's all I got.
All right.
Hour and a half. You got anything else?
No. May the zoo be with you.
Hey, we got new merch. I got a yellow t-shirt now coming. I was supposed to wear it this week, but we got new merch on the website. It's not really that new. It's something special, but if you're looking for
wasn't the first time.
If you're looking for a Christmas present for yourself or for your wife, if you want to get a May the Zoo be with you shirt, so that when you're staring at your wife, it's saying May the Zoo be with you to you. It means a lot. I think that's
I'm gonna get my wife a May the Zoo be with you shirt for Christmas now. I'm making one for her mom.
There you go. Classic.
I'm like, what is this? I'm like, I'm on it.
Oh, man. All right. That's all we got for you guys. May the zoo be with you.
And also with you.
And remember to be kind.
Shout out to Mitch. We miss you.
And also with you. Mitch, may the zoo be with you, buddy.
Yeah, bud.
Oh, good luck at work. To me, catch the memo, Mitch. Everyone's quitting their jobs and working for themselves and working from home.
Yeah.
Did you see the jobs reports? So they're... Oh, man. Okay. We don't need to talk about this right now. There's a... Anyway. All right. Goodbye, everyone.
Be kind
to the people around you.